fellow brothers, you guys have asked for it. You guys have commented on my posts, you guys have liked my reels, you guys have tagged me in stories saying that please make the tutorials more beginner friendly. So that's what we're here to do. In today's video, we're gonna give a step-by-step tutorial about a VAPI.AI AI voice assistant that can basically use a knowledge base to answer questions and also use a function send deal to actually go ahead and send a deal, an email to the actual customer as a promotional deal. But without further ado, this video is going to be divided in 3 separate parts. We got number 1, which is going to be the demo tutorial. I'm going to show you the full call. It's a very short caller, it's a promotional caller, but the main thing is the backend, which is step number 2. I'm going to show you the call flow, and then step number 3, I'm going to show you how to actually build it, which is the enhancement part, which is where you guys can actually go ahead and follow this step by step. And this tutorial is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to literally create a new account and go ahead and download my blueprints, the very blueprints that I usually send out to people, and I'm going to download it and literally update it with you guys so that you guys can make sure that you have zero confusion at all. Now, before we actually hop into this, just remember that I have a link in the description for a SKOOL community called the AI Renaissance. It's a community in which all of us just innovative thinkers come together and we just talk and we just think about the next future, which is AI voice agents, and we just go ahead and help out each other. And I even give my own personal tutorials and my own personal implications on life and stuff like that. We even have a good mindset tab in which we go ahead and talk about the journey and the actual vision, the good quotes that we have to hear every single day. You guys can just go ahead and click that. It's literally link in the description. And always, if you guys are a company or a business or whatever who wants to literally change their business forever with revolutionary technology, then you guys can just go ahead into our free AI demo call. Just fill out your form. You can hear the AI by yourself, and literally after that, we're gonna come out and contact you, and stuff's gonna happen from there. So without further ado, my brothers, my sisters, whatever it is, let's get into it.
Hi, Ibrahim. This is Jen calling from Domino. The reason I'm calling is to share some exciting promotions we're offering on pizzas, sides, and desserts. Do you have a quick moment to chat?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Great. Let me tell you about some of our best deals and recommendations that I think you'll love. This week, we're offering a special deal. Buy 2 medium pizzas and get 1 free when you use our promo code. It's perfect for sharing with family or friends. We also have a mix and match deal where you can choose any 2 or more items like pizzas, pasta, or desserts for just $6.99.
Wait, did you just...
Would you like me to email you the...
Yeah, did you say $6?
Oh, close. It's actually $6.99 per item with our mix and match deal. You can choose from a variety of items like medium pizzas, pasta, chicken, or even desserts. It's a great way to mix things up. Would you like me to email you the details so you can check it out later?
Yeah, I guess, sure, go ahead.
Perfect. I'll send the details to your email right away so you can take a closer look at the deals. Keep an eye out for Idle. Have all the information you need to enjoy these offers. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
That's it. It's that simple, boys. Alright, my fellow brothers, it's time for the call flow. So right before we get into this, it's just literally the exact same call flows as always. The only difference is that we literally have everything from every single video inside this one promotional caller. It's literally everything, meaning we have the answer to the knowledge base, we have the recommendations, we have the function of the send deal, we have the CRM, we have transfer to the live agent. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this because it's going to be a really fun one. So let's just dive straight into it. So basically the first step is that we have a Google Sheet, a CRM, whatever it is, and we basically have a bunch of contacts with lead data, and we can just go ahead and extract that data, go to VAPI, get the assistant from VAPI, connect the call using make.com, and literally use that data from the Google Sheets into our actual call. Then after that, we literally have our knowledge base over here. On the call, the AI can literally answer from a knowledge base. So stuff like when's your opening time, what deals do you have going on, basic stuff like that. Anyways, after that, we have a feature in which we can transfer to a live agent if the call is not going on point, or if they need some more advanced level information, or maybe they just want to talk to the manager. Then we just transfer over to a live agent. That's some simple stuff. The next, the AI can literally do recommendations. It can literally go like, hey, like more cheese, then we have these deals. If you like, you eat a lot, then we have these deals, like stuff like that. So it's really cool stuff over there. Anyways, after that, we got the function, which is actually the send deal email. This is where we can go ahead and we can send the deals over to business owners. And I really love this because we can also do this with SMS, but it's really just the exact same psychology in which if you are a family person and you are an actual customer of Domino's and you have a family and you see that, hey, they have a deal on, maybe maybe you're at work and you get the call and you pick up and they're like, okay, I can just send it to your email. You get it to your email, and then the next time you want to go, it's a free deal. And because you got a deal in your email, you're literally more inclined to go. So you go home from work and you're just like, okay, yeah, let's go with the kids to Domino's and stuff like that. I have a 15% off deal. Like, it's just the psychology over there works so well. Anyway, after that, we got the actual update CRM. So it basically takes the data, it sees which contact has not been called and who has not accepted the deal, and it basically uses that to go ahead and do the call and recommend and send the deal and stuff like that. And then after that, we update the CRM with the details of the call, the summary, we can do transcript, call recording, all of that stuff, and if they said yes to the deal or if we have to move them over to a different scenario. So without further ado, let's get into the VAPI build. Now, before we actually dive into the VAPI side, I want to explain a little bit further that we're literally going to be diving into everything step by step, meaning not just this good old prompt sheet over here with the exact VAPI prompts, which are tested and proven and literally the best prompts that you can get out there. Not this alone, but also the knowledge base, but also all of the literal make.com scenarios over here. We literally dive through everything from importing the blueprint to literally filling it out to literally triggering it for the first time to test it out. And just to show you guys the good old CRM over here, it's literally so basic. It's just a Google Sheets with a bunch of contacts named. These are customers. See if you can see the first contact over here. It's my name. I obviously just changed this right now, so you guys can't call that number. It's not gonna work. Don't try and call me. But yeah, this is the actual deal over here. This is how it's gonna work. It's gonna first be call status not called, and then after it's done, it's gonna be call completed and the deal if it's accepted or not. So without further ado, let's now get into the VAPI side. Now, I want you guys to head over to good old VAPI.AI. Just go into Google and literally type VAPI.AI. You guys are gonna have to create a free account. It's literally free, no charges, no nothing, no credit card needed. Just create a free account. Go ahead into the assistance tab. It's gonna be inside the platform assistance. We're gonna click create assistant. We're just gonna name this whatever. We're gonna name it Domino's promotional caller. The blank template right over here. Create assistant, and boom, we are literally in the page where we can configure the entire assistant on the VAPI side. Obviously, we're gonna have to take this into make.com, but this is where we're gonna literally build the brain of our AI, literally build the caller. So just a little explanation about what is exactly happening over here. We just have a few different tabs over here for configuration and stuff like that. We have a few metrics over here, but starting with the model tab, this is literally where you can go ahead and add your prompt, the system prompt. This is the literal brain. First message, it's literally as it said, first message is the first thing that the AI is gonna say when the call is started. You guys can configure this as whatever you want, but obviously we're just gonna be following our good old prompt sheet over here. And like I'm saying, remember, all of the resources are literally given in the link below, so you guys can literally just follow along with us. But yeah, after that, we got the good old provided. This is literally ChatGPT. So basically, how AI voice systems work right now is a transcriber is over there to literally transcribe what it is we're saying. So if I say, hi, how are you? The transcriber over there is going to break down what I said and transcribe it into literal words. This isn't some big technological stuff. You guys already know that Siri can literally do that. It transcribes our words, and then basically after that, takes our words and it plugs that into the LLM, which is going to be ChatGPT. OpenAI is our provider. Obviously, OpenAI is ChatGPT's, head or whatever. And it plugs it into our model, and that basically comes up with the speech using our system prompt. So it's like you're literally talking directly into ChatGPT. And then ChatGPT goes over to our TTS, talk to speech, whatever it is, which is 11 labs, and literally generates speech so that it can be replayed back to us. So sometimes people in my comments say, is this just a recording or something that's being played? No, it's not like that. We're literally taking live speech, transcribing it, putting it into our system, into our brain, and then we're speaking. It's literally how a human conversation works. We first listen to what the other person is saying, then we think about our answer, then we speak back. Simple. So yeah, anyways, after that, we got the good old knowledge base. This is basically where you can go ahead and add in your actual knowledge over here. That's just going to be a simple question answer sheet like this with general information, order and delivery, just simple stuff like that. It doesn't have to be too complicated. It's just the simplest information out here. And then after that, we got the temperature, which is basically, as it says, the higher the value the temperature is, the less it will follow your actual system prompt, and the more it will just follow ChatGPT and whatever it comes up with. So it's always best to leave this at the lowest possible way that you can go. I always leave it at 0.2 to add a little bit of flexibility between each conversations, because always inside our prompts we label what we want the AI to say. So it's always good to have a little, differences in speech and stuff like that. So if a sentence is like, yeah, I can go ahead and do this for you, maybe if we do this to 0.2, it's gonna go like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll do this for you. So it's just some simple changes inside the text and stuff like that. So we keep it at 0.2 for that. So just go ahead and do that. And then anyways, after after that we got the max tokens. Don't worry about that at all. It's just simple stuff. It's just how much tokens this actually uses into ChatGPT per conversation. I don't want you to adjust that at all. And then we got detect emotion. That's just a little bit of information that we provide to the LLM or ChatGPT, that we say that, hey, this is the tone of the conversation and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool feature on VAPI, I gotta say. And anyways, after that we got the cost. This is obviously the cost that it's actually going to be costing you per actual, like minute. So AI voice agents are actually calculated in minutes because all of the providers charge on minutes. We have VAPI's fixed cost, we have 11 labs, we have GPT costs, and we have stuff like that. So we always charge on minutes. That's how we're charged, and that's how we also charge our clients and stuff like that. After that we got the good old latency. This is a really important feature for AI voice agents because the lower the latency is, the lower your ping is. So you got to make sure that your latency is always the lowest, so that each time that the AI responds, it responds quick and it responds human-like. So you got to make sure this is low and actually functional. Because again, I've seen AI voice agents that have latency like 100 ms, and they are the worst like sounding and acting agents ever. So a good latency to have is around 800 to 1200. Anything above, below, it's just, too much flex. It's just too much, flexing out and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, after that we got simple stuff like talk with the system. This is where you can test your assistant on a web call. Features like the call transfer will not work on a talk with the system button over here. You have to do that in a live call. So you have to make sure that when you're doing the call transfer feature, and when you're testing that out, you have to do that on an actual phone call. Anyway, after that we got the assistant ID. That's just like a primary key. And then after that is a good old assistant demo. That's just where you can go ahead and send this demo over to a client so that they can test it out and stuff like that. This is the transcriber tab. This is basically how we're going to transcribe all of our speech. This is where the AI is going to transcribe it and stuff like that. This is where you can actually change your transcribing. So if you want to speak in something like, let's say, France or something like French, sorry, not France. If you want to speak in something like French, then you can go ahead and, set this over to French, and it's going to transcribe your voice inside French. And then yeah, after that we got the good old voice configuration. This is where you guys can go ahead and add from the thousands of voices that they have inside the voice library, from 11 Lab Voice, Rhyme AI, Play HD, all of these voices over here. This is also where you can choose the different accents and all of the, different male, female, and whatever the third one is. And then yeah, after that we got the good old functions tab. This is basically tools, which is actions that the AI can do with or without informing the user. So this could be something like updating the server that the call has been triggered, or it could be something like check availability, which you would need the user to literally trigger. So it goes both ways. This is also where we're going to configure our actual transfer call button, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. And then anyway, after that we got the good old advanced tab. This is just where you guys can do your specific configurations, like the wait seconds. This is also where you guys can do the good old maximum duration, the silence timeout, and also your messaging, which is basically the end of call report. So this is all of the data that you're going to send and update into the CRM. So this is actually an important tab. And there's more basic stuff like voicemail, end of call messages, idle messages, just basic configuration like that. And then after that we got the good old analysis, which is just basically the summary, the success evaluation, and just the structured data. These are specific things that you can extract from the call. Basically something like if the deal was sent or not, or if they transferred over to a live agent or not. Just simple stuff like that. Now without further ado, let's dive into the tutorial. So to start off, I'm just gonna head over here to our assistance prompt page over here. Obviously link in the description. You guys can join the SKOOL community, get this all for free. Go ahead, and we're just gonna go and copy all of this over here, already done and dusted for you guys, and we're just gonna paste that in right over here. And we're just gonna go ahead and copy this first message over here. Boom. And obviously whatever we're doing inside this tutorial, like the first message or the system prompt, you guys can change this to whatever it is that you want. These are just some simple basic stuff that you guys will have to do if you want to follow along exactly and stuff like that. So without further ado, we're just gonna leave this like this. And you guys might also notice that we have variables over here, but how will we actually define the variables? So VAPI does not allow you to actually define variables inside the actual VAPI engine. So you actually have to go ahead and you have to extract the AI from VAPI, and then you can go ahead into make.com, and that's where you can define your first message and that's where you can define your variables, and you can actually plug in the information and stuff like that. So I actually don't know why VAPI doesn't allow variables. It should, but it just doesn't. So we actually have to take this out. We have to put it onto make.com. So for right now, leave it like that. So then anyway, we're just gonna go over here. We're gonna do this as GPT-4o cluster. We're gonna set our knowledge base. We're just gonna do add a new file. We're gonna go ahead and download our good old file over here. File, download, Microsoft Doc. Boom, boom, boom. Wait for that to download. We're just gonna head back over here, choose file, choose that one over here, wait for it to load, and then boom, we have a good old knowledge base over here. We're gonna go back to the assistance, set that in right over here. We're gonna go over here, temperature 0.2, detect emotion on. Now, as you guys can see, our latency and our cost is rising, but don't worry about that. We're gonna keep it at a minimalistic cost and a minimalistic latency, so don't worry about that. So yeah, next we got the transcriber. We're just gonna keep this as Nova 2 phone call. We're gonna keep this the same. It's an English agent. Boom. Voice. We're gonna leave this as 11 labs. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and click something like Victoria, and we're just gonna go ahead and do the model as 11 labs turbo v2. We're just gonna go down over here. We're gonna do the office as a background noise. We're gonna leave this all as it is. Then next we're gonna go over to the functions. We're gonna leave this for right now. We're just gonna add in the enable end call function. We're just gonna go over here, write goodbye. Boom. We're just gonna add our phone number over here. Obviously I can't show you guys that, but my phone number is right over there. Then next we're just gonna head over to the good old advanced tab, and over here I just want you guys to go ahead and enable this. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to the maximum duration, not do 1800. We're just gonna set this over to 300 because that's how long an average call lasts maximum. So boom, 300 over here. Silence timeout, that's 30. That's fine. And just see if we need to change anything else over here. We're gonna leave this stuff empty for right now. We're just gonna make sure that this is just the end of call report over here. Boom, boom. We're gonna go over here and call message goodbye. Boom, idle message, are you still there? We're just gonna change this to hey, can you please call back? We have an exciting deal for you today. This is Jen from Domino's. Can you please call back? We have an exciting deal for you today. Boom, click publish. Next we're just gonna go to the analysis, and obviously like always we're just gonna go ahead and copy literally all of this over here. It's all done and dusted for you guys. You guys don't have to do anything. Boom, copy this, go over here, pass fail, boom, copy, boom, structured data. We're gonna go over here. We're just gonna copy this in right over here. It's very basic obviously, so you guys can follow along and actually understand. I wanted to make this tutorial specifically to explain and show, because a lot of you guys had a few questions about the other ones, so this is just primarily here to show you guys. So yeah, anyway, after that we got the go load functions. This is where we're gonna create our first tool, which is gonna be right over here, the send offer tool. So don't worry about this. We're gonna head over to make.com, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to use our blueprints. So for right now, let's just go ahead and create the tool. So we're gonna go ahead, click new tool, make.com, and now we're gonna head over to make.com and create the good old tool. So boom, as you guys can see, we got the good old new make.com account. We're just gonna go over to scenarios. We're gonna go over here, we're gonna create a new scenario, and we're just gonna X this, go ahead and just go over here, go to import blueprint, choose file, and we're just gonna go ahead and do the good old send offer. Click save, and boom, we got a good old scenario right over here. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're actually gonna jump into this, create a webhook. We're just gonna name this as send offer over here, save. We're just gonna copy this, and we're just gonna head back over to VAPI. We're gonna paste this in over here, click the good old save, boom. Next, we're gonna name this as the good old, where is it, over here, boom. We're gonna name this send deal right over here. Paste that in right over here, boom. Use this function to send the deal over to the customer, boom. Now the reason we don't need any email or anything like that is because we already have all of the data. We're just going ahead and we're just activating it with them. Send deal, start message, one moment please, just give me a second. That all is good. Create, and boom, we got our first tool over here. So we're just gonna go ahead, go into the assistants, go over here, go over to functions, go ahead and add that in right over here, and click publish. So then after that, we're just gonna click OK over here. And now to finish this part, all we have to literally do is go over here, and we have to connect our Google account over here. So I'm just gonna click create a connection, go ahead and sign it with Google over here. And obviously I can't show you guys this part. And boom, if we just wait for a second, there it is. We're into our good old Google Sheet over here. So you guys just have to go over here. Once you guys change your spreadsheet ID, obviously change it over to whatever you have named your own thing. Since I just connected this over to my old Gmail, everything is already plugged in. But you guys are going to go over here to the sheet name and the spreadsheet ID. I just want you guys to change it to what it actually is. This all remains the exact same over here. Make sure though you have the exact same stuff over here, phone number, email address, all of this stuff over here. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and click OK. Next we actually have to go ahead and create an email connection. So we're just gonna go over here, we're just gonna go to Google restricted and just click save. And it's just the exact same thing as the other thing. We just have to go ahead, plug in our good old email over here, continue, click allow over here, go ahead and wait for all of this to good old load. And then boom, if we just wait a second, verifying connection, and we're just connected right like that. Now obviously you guys can change this however you want, but we just made this the very simple stuff over here, just to basic stuff. So we're just gonna click OK, and boom, we're ready to go. So actually, one more thing that I did not notice, we actually have to go ahead, go over here. I want to run this one, so I want to test it out. So we're just gonna unlink this over here. We're gonna click run. So we're actually gonna head back over to VAPI, and we're just gonna talk with the assistant over here and just get the thing triggered once.
Great. Let me tell you about some of our best deals and recommendations that I think you'll love.
And yeah, exactly like that, we got a good old message over here. Now, since this is a type of a web call, right? If we go over to the call, it's a web call, so we can't actually get the good old number that we have pasted in right over here. So this is actually what is called a ghost variable. If you can see, this is number 1 and this is number 1. So this is a ghost variable that I've automatically mapped for you guys, so that when it is an actual call, this will automatically be filled out. And what this thing over here is basically doing is replacing the number, the +1, whatever your number is, with an empty string. Why is it doing that? Well, if we head over to our good old Google Sheets, you'll notice that Google Sheets does not actually allow you to have a good old plus with the number over here. It just breaks and it just ruins, so it doesn't actually allow you to do that. So for that, whenever we're pulling out the number, we have to remove the plus and we have to just take this stuff over here. But the number that we get from the webhook is going to be something like +1949, and then whatever the number is, something like that. So we actually have to remove this plus, and that's how we do it. We just remove it with an empty string, and that's how we can get access to the actual number. And boom, if you check over here to our good old last thing over here, it's automatically mapped the ID over here, so we have to do nothing else over here. Just click save, and as you can see, scenario saved, and we're just going to turn this on right over here. Boom. Now after that, we actually have to go ahead and do the other two make.com scenarios, which is going to be the good old main calling system right over here. This is how we're actually going to trigger the call, and then we got the good old end of call report. This is how we're going to take the details, we're going to plug it back into our Google Sheets. So to do this, we're just going to go over here. Obviously, we're going to click create a new scenario. We're going to go over here, wait for it to load, and we're just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. We're going to do import blueprint, and we're going to start with the main calling system. So boom, over here, we're going to click save, and we got our main calling system. So it's going to be the exact same way how we did it. We just have to go ahead and connect our accounts. Boom, right over here. Now I had someone in my community saying, why wasn't this scenario working? Well, the only thing that they were missing is that their field type or their order number, whatever it was, this was empty over here. They forgot to map this over here. Now this is a very important thing that you have to make sure you do. We use the phone number as a sort of primary key, which is a unique identifier for each contact. So we actually have to add this, and then we have to do the field type as a number, because that is a number, and you have to say your limit to whatever you want, and then click OK. Now to explain this flow a little further, it basically works like this, exactly like how the call flow did. We basically extract the data from this Google Sheet, how many contacts as you want to call, whatever it is, you have to extract it, and then we basically go ahead and we first go ahead and get the assistant right over here. Obviously it's empty right now because we haven't done that yet. After that, we literally go ahead and we parse the assistant into different parse data and stuff like that, and we aggregate it, and then we just go ahead and do the first array, whatever. This just coupled it up, and then we put it into a good HTTP post request, and this is just a VAPI post URL in which we just go ahead and define everything that we need to trigger a call. And after that, it's gonna go ahead and update a row inside the Google Sheet. We're gonna go ahead and update the row that we just searched from this one. So we basically search the row, it goes through the entire scenario, and it's literally called. After it gets called, we go ahead and we get that row so that we can go ahead and change the call status to commence, so that we know that the call was actually commenced and it was actually triggered. So this doesn't matter if you have 10 rows that you're dealing with right now, or if you have 100. If you want to trigger 50 calls at once, you can just go ahead and get 50 numbers out of here, and it's going to automatically update. But one thing I want you guys to note is that VAPI allows a concurrency limit of only 10 right now. You can obviously upgrade that if you talk to them, and you have to personally message them, and you have to get it upgraded, and there's obviously going to be some cost with that. But VAPI only allows a concurrency rate of 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, we're just going to change this over to the good old limit of 10 over here. Click OK, and that's how we're gonna play with 10 contacts every 15 minutes. So we can actually change this over to and we can actually go ahead and change this over to actually something like 4 minutes, because our call limit is 3 minutes. So actually we do need to have a pro account for this. Pro is just $10. Now obviously, since this is a new account, I don't have a pro on this, but I would recommend that you guys get pro. It's just $10, and you guys are gonna need pro to activate all 3 scenarios. So this will just be showing you, but just set this over to 4 minutes and you guys are good to go with that. So the next thing that we actually have to go ahead and do, I want you guys to go ahead and fill in this data over here, the assistant over here, and we actually have to fill in this data over here inside the first set variables. So I want you guys to head back over here. I want you guys to head over here, go to API keys, go ahead and copy in your private key over here. You guys can add a key. This is just your API key. Make sure it's a private one, not the public one. And we can just go ahead and paste that in right over here. Click OK over there, and we're just gonna go ahead, go back over to VAP, go to the assistance tab. We're gonna go over to the good old advanced over here, and we're just gonna change the server URL to this URL for right now, because we're gonna have to update this when we actually create the end of call report. But this is just like a demo information that we can put into here, so that it's just basic over there and we can just update it later. But yeah, that's demo information that we're just gonna put in for right now. Go ahead and make sure this is all done. We're gonna click publish. Now we're gonna head back over to the promotional call database, and we're just gonna add a new node. We're gonna call it the HTTP make a request, we're just gonna make this authorization here, bearer, and we're just gonna add the API key right over here. We're gonna change this over to a good old raw content type JSON, and we're gonna paste this in over here, delete the ID, click OK. Go ahead and copy in this ID right over here from our good old assistance dashboard. Go ahead and paste that in right over here, click OK, and we're just gonna run that in once. And I actually forgot to add our API key over here as well, so just make sure that you add the API key over here as well. Boom, I just went ahead and I did that. I'm gonna click OK, and it's gonna work. Boom. Now we got our data over here. We're just gonna go ahead and copy in this data right over here. We're gonna go ahead and open a new tab, and we're gonna open up JSON editor online, open a new document, go ahead and paste that in right over here, click format, and we're just gonna click the good old copy button over here, copy formatted, and we're just gonna go ahead and paste that in right over here. And this is where we can actually go ahead and do our variables as our first name variable. We can just copy that over from name, and we can go ahead and paste in the other first name right over here. So wherever you see the variables, just go ahead and paste them in right over here. We have one more, I think, right over here. Yeah, boom. We're just gonna copy that, paste it in right over here. Make sure that we have nothing else over here. Boom, boom, and so we're just gonna go ahead and click OK, and we're just gonna delete this over here. Boom, click save. And now the last thing that we actually have is a good old phone number ID. Now I'm actually going to show you guys how to get a free US phone number to use with the system. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and go into Twilio.com, create a free account. You guys are going to have to give a phone number. Doesn't matter what country code, whatever it is. Just verify your phone number via an SMS, a one-time pin. And then you guys can go ahead, go into the console. Once in your console, I want you guys to go ahead and literally follow the tutorial to get these 3 ticks. Obviously, you don't need the last one, but it would obviously help. Go ahead and plug in $5 if you want. But after that, you guys can go ahead and get your free Twilio phone number and your account SID and your auth token, which is going to be visible right over here inside the console.twilio.com, right down over here. So I want you guys to go ahead and copy that information and go ahead and plug it in right over here. You can just name this whatever name, boom, import from Twilio. And if you guys just wait a few seconds, boom, we have our phone number right over here. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and copy in this ID over here, go back into our good old scenario, go ahead and paste that in right over here, click OK, and we are literally good to go. You guys can test this out. You guys are gonna get your phone call literally right here. Go ahead and click save over here. It's that simple. So the next thing that we actually have to go ahead and build is we have to go ahead and we have to build the end of call report, so that we can go ahead and take this data that we've just captured from the assistant and go ahead and literally get the data back so we can update it and see what happened. Go ahead and click create a new scenario. We're just gonna go over here. We're gonna go ahead and import our blueprint right over here, choose file, and this is gonna be the end of call. Save this over here, and it's like always, we just have to go ahead and create a new webhook. We're gonna name this end of call. Go ahead and click save, copy this right over here, and we're actually gonna head back over here, go into our good old assistance tab, our assistant variable, and we're just gonna go ahead and find the end of call report thing over here. That's gonna be right over here inside the server URL, and we're just gonna change this with this right over here. Click OK, and we're good to go. Click save. And now how this scenario works is literally the same as everything else. Obviously, just go ahead and plug in your API key over here. Now after you went ahead and did the webhook thing, let's go ahead and explain this scenario a little bit further. So how this scenario works is we basically take the end of call report, go ahead and we wait 60 seconds so that all of the data is being, calculated and collected and stuff like that. And then we basically get the call from VAPI using our authorization bearer, whatever it is, and we just parse that data again, basically exactly what JSON editor did for us, but we're just making make.com do it automatically. So we just parse all of that data into separate variables, and we just go ahead and we update our Google Sheets over here. We first search the row, obviously. Let me just go ahead and click choose account. We're obviously going to go ahead and search the row. After that's searched, we can go ahead and we can update the row so that we can make sure that the actual contact that triggered the call is the actual contact's information that is being updated. If we just go ahead and plug in our details right over here, make sure that you guys have the actual good old correct spreadsheet ID. Make sure your sheet name is actually correct. Make sure everything else, boom, 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 this all is good. Phone number. We're gonna choose our account. Boom. Just gonna update this stuff as well. Go over here, go ahead and click the good YouTube demo CRMs sheet name, obviously the Domino sheet over here. We're gonna make sure that this is selected as row number, leave this all as same, and this is where our deal accepted structured data is gonna be, and our call status is changed to call completed. And that's literally it. That's the entire scenario literally done for you. We're actually gonna go ahead and test this out once. So I'm gonna head back over to my account that's actually upgraded with the $10 and stuff like that. We're just gonna go ahead and trigger this once. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and delete the other contacts, and we're just gonna test out the system once to make sure that everything's working. If we just head back over to our account that actually has the ability, run more than 3 scenarios, a $10 package, whatever it is, we're just gonna go over here. Just gonna go over here, click run once, and if we just wait for it, boom, 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 boom. Now if we just wait a few seconds, as you can see, the call has been triggered, and there it is.
Hi Ibrahim, this is Jen calling from Domino.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was quite slower than the other ones, but I wanted to make sure that I go through everything thoroughly and I go ahead and explain everything literally in depth. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, always comment how this video can be improved and it can be better. And if you guys are a business looking for these solutions, looking to enhance your business, looking to 10x your business, looking to change the world, man, change your business, go ahead and trigger in our free AI demo call. Link in the description. You guys can literally hear how human-like they sound and literally talk to it yourself, talk to the AI yourself. Go ahead and see, get a feel for it, stuff like that. See if it's actually viable inside your business. And obviously, if you guys are looking to learn more in depth about this stuff, go ahead and join our SKOOL community. We have literal weekly Q&A sessions and everything. It's just so fun in there. I love having community and stuff like that. The AI renaissance is truly the future. So without further ado, remember, boys, girls, whatever it is, stay hard. It's that simple, boys. Easy.